Hi, welcome to a yoga bite with me, Patty, in my garage. For today's practice, which will be short, that's why it's a yoga bite, we'll use 2 blocks. And if you like to have a blanket underneath your head, which I like to support my neck so my head doesn't drop back too much, you could have a blanket, and we'll get started. Welcome. So we'll start on our backs. And you don't need anything unless you want the blanket underneath your head. And start with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. Walk your feet wider than your hips. Let the toes turn in a little bit and drop the knees against each other. You could start with your hands on your belly. You might start with your arms down by your side. Maybe you roll the arms so your palms face the ceiling. And then eventually soften your gaze or close your eyes. Take an inhale in through your nose and open wide. Exhale out through your mouth. Take another inhale in through your nose. Feel your belly fill. Your chest rise up. Open wide and exhale out. And one more like that. Inhaling in. Feel free to make sound if you like. Open wide. Exhale out. And then let the lips touch and begin to breathe in and out through your nose. And let the inhale be the same length as your exhale. So we're really placing the attention on the breath. Allow your exhale to release across your forehead, between your eyebrows. Allow your exhale to soften the sides of your neck, the fronts of your shoulders. And then on an exhale, we'll bring the knees into your chest. You could have your hands on top or behind your knees. Take a little rock side to side. And then come into center and cross your right ankle on top of your left ankle. And bring your hands on top of your knees and circle each leg around, like you're making circles on the ceiling. You might take small circles, big circles, both. Circle in both directions. And then come into center and uncross. Flex your feet so toes back to your shins. Inhale, straighten both legs up to the ceiling. Exhale, bend both knees down. Keep hold of your left knee and slide your right leg all the way straight onto the floor. Feel the right thigh press down. Notice your right leg. Can you have your knees and toes pointed up? Stay here. Exhale, find ease in the face again, front of the shoulders. And then exhale, bring your right knee in. Cross your left ankle on top of the right ankle. And again, circle the legs around in your hip sockets. Like you're making circles on the ceiling. Try to keep the breath in and out through the nose. Try to keep your breath even. And then come into center. Uncross. Flex your feet. Inhale, the legs go up to the ceiling. Exhale, bend your knees down. Keep hold of your right knee and slide the left leg all the way straight onto the floor. Maybe you feel your left thigh press down. Adjust as you need to. Maybe you hug your right knee in close. Maybe it's not so close. The left leg that's on the floor, the knee and toes point up. And then slide your right leg straight on the floor. Have the legs hips distanced. And reach your arms up alongside your ears. Hook one thumb onto the other. And just let the arms hover off the floor. They might be a little more towards the ceiling. They might be a millimeter off the floor. Feel your legs extend forward. Feel your arms extend back. As you exhale, switch the hook of your thumbs. As you take your next exhale, maybe you find ease in your face or you soften your front ribs down. And then bring the arms shoulder distance. Turn the palms towards each other. On an exhale, your right knee comes in, hands on top or behind your right knee. Moving on your breath, your inhale slides the right leg straight on the floor, arms lift. Your exhale brings your left knee in. Your inhale slides the left leg straight on the floor, arms lift. Exhale, bring your right knee in. Inhale, right leg straight, arms overhead. Exhale, your left knee comes in. And then slide the left leg straight, reach your arms overhead. And exhale, we'll bring both knees in. You could bring them one at a time, but eventually both knees towards your chest. Flex your feet and drop both knees over to the left. And then maybe you reach your right arm up alongside your ear. Maybe you reach your right arm out to the right and drop your head to the right. And then on the exhale, roll onto your back and drop the knees over to the right. So maybe your left arm reaches alongside your ear, maybe it reaches out to the left. You can drop your head to the left. You could roll to your back, rock forwards and backwards to come up, or join me in just rolling all the way to your right side. Use your left hand, press yourself up, and we're coming to our hands and knees. So leave your blocks at the top of your mat and make your way to tabletop. So your hands are shoulder distanced, your shoulders are over your wrists, your knees are under your hips distanced. And then as you breathe in, move your chest forward into cow pose. Draw the shoulder blades in the best you can. And on the exhale, round. Head drops, your sitting bones drop. Inhale leads you into cow pose. It's an extension of the spine. Exhale rounds you into flexions, into spinal flexion. Inhaling into the cow. Exhale, rounding into cat. And then inhale, come into center. And straighten your right leg back. So the ball of the foot is on the floor. Straighten your left leg back. Press your hands into the floor. We're in plank. And then press your hands, lift your hips, come into downward facing dog. Now you could step your feet wide, shift the weight side to side. You could keep your feet hips distanced and bend one knee and the opposite heel drops and then switch sides. But as you're moving, just that attempt to keep the breath, it moves in smoothly, it moves out smoothly. And then if you're moving in down dog, pause. Where's your gaze? Might be back between your toes, between your knees. As you take your next exhale, smooth out across your forehead and between your eyebrows. And then inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, come back down to your hands and knees. And we'll take cat-cow again. So inhale moves you into the back bend. Exhale, rounding into cat. Inhale moves you into the cow pose. Exhale rounds you into cat. Inhale moves you into cow. Exhale rounds you. It lifts your navel, lower belly. You find yourself in cat. And then move into center. Straighten the left leg back. Pause, press the palms, straighten your right leg back, pause in plank. And then lift your hips and shift into downward facing dog. So be still in down dog for just a moment. And then come forward on the inhale into plank. Exhale, shift yourself back into down dog. Inhale, come again forward into plank. You look forward, shoulders are over your wrists. Exhale to down dog. Inhale brings you forward into plank and pause. So your legs could be straight, your knees might be down. You want to feel your hands press. You want to feel your lower ribs lift. Soften in the face, the sides of the neck. Exhale, shift yourself into down dog. And then come down to your hands and knees. We're stepping the right foot forward, and here's where your blocks could come in handy. So you can bring your hands to your blocks. Take a fairly deep bend in your front right knee. Feel some opening maybe in your back thigh. Top of the back foot is on the floor. And then bring your hands to your front right thigh so you press up. You might feel the tailbone, the back of your pelvis drop down. And then bring your arms behind your back. So you could hook your thumbs, you could interlace your fingers. You want the fronts of your shoulders to move back. Reach towards the back heel. And then release, bring your hands to your blocks, tuck the back toes under, and straighten the back knee off the floor. So we'll take a twist, lean into your left hand. First, bring your right hand to your right hip. Pause here. Keep a nice deep bend in your front right knee. Roll the right ribs up to the ceiling. Hand can stay on the hip. You might reach your arm up. You might look up. Press the bottom hand down. Press the back thigh straight. And then drop the top hand. We'll move the blocks to the floor. Move the blocks aside. Bring your hands to the floor. Step into downward facing dog. And then come forward on the inhale into plank pose. And then you could keep your legs straight. You could lower your knees down. Exhale all the way down to your belly. Bring the tops of your feet to the floor. Lift into a cobra. So your back muscles lift you up. Exhale back down. Inhale. Maybe there's a sense of lengthening out to lift up. Cobra. Exhale back down. And one more. Lengthen. Lift to cobra. Pause in cobra. Lift the fronts of your shoulders away from the floor. Draw your upper arms alongside you. Exhale back down to the floor. Let the knees drop to the floor. Press to your hands and knees. Tuck your toes. Press into downward facing dog. Pause here. Press strong through your hands. Reach your hips back. Exhale down to your hands and knees. And then step your left foot forward between your blocks so you can bring your blocks back. Nice deep bend in your front left knee. Feel the opening maybe in the back thigh. Bring your hands to your front thigh. Press a little up. And then again, interlace. Catch your hands. Hook your thumbs behind your back. Reach towards that back heel. Feel the shoulder blades draw in. And then release your hands to your blocks. Tuck your back toes under. Press the back thigh straight. So first we're going to lean into the right hand. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Pause here. Keep a deep bend in that front left knee. And then keep rolling the left ribs up. Keep your hand on your hip. You might reach the arm up and look up. And then the top hand comes down. The blocks move to the side so your hands can come to the floor and step into downward facing dog. Pause here. And then inhale, come forward into plank pose. So you could stop halfway in that push-up chaturanga position, or you can exhale all the way down to your belly. Remember, your knees can be down. Inhale can lift you into a cobra, into an upward facing dog, drawing the fronts of your shoulders back. Exhale, shift into downward dog. Pause here. Take a breath in. Take an exhale out. Inhale again, forward into plank. Exhale to your belly, or you can stop in the halfway push-up position. Inhale to up dog. Exhaling to down dog. And one more time. Inhale forward into plank. Maybe you put your knees down. Maybe you bend the elbows halfway, or you go all the way to your belly. Lift into a cobra or to up dog. And then exhale, transition into downward dog. Pause here. Inhaling. And then exhale, lower down to your hands and knees. Come back to tabletop. I told you it's a little bite, yoga bite. Inhale into cow pose. Exhale, rounding into cat. Inhale leads you into the back bend. Exhale, round you into cat. Inhale leads you into the back bend. Exhale to round. And then move into center. Bring your legs to the side. Come onto your seat. You can scooch yourself a little forward. Take a block with you. And lie down on your back. Have your knees bent. Have your feet on the floor. Roughly hips distanced. Arms down by your side. Press the feet down. Inhale up into a bridge. And exhale, lower yourself out of bridge. Inhale, feet press, hips lift, bridge. Exhale, down out of bridge. Press the feet, lift your hips, come into bridge. Bend your elbows. Press the elbows. You might walk your shoulders underneath you a little bit. You might lift your hips higher. And then start to lower down, but take your block. The block can slide flat. You could bring it on the middle setting. Lower your hips onto the block. Arms are down. Pause here. Feet could stay on the floor. You could bring your knees over your hips and your legs up towards the ceiling. Maybe you roll your arms so the palms face the ceiling. That sense of exhaling the back of your head and your upper back into the floor. Maybe it's the sense of exhaling, releasing in your arms. And then if the legs are up, exhale. We'll bend the knees. And bring the feet flat to the floor. Pause here. Inhale, lifts your hips. Take the block out. Bring the block behind you. And lower your hips down. Walk your feet wider than your hips. And drop both knees over to the left. The right arm can reach out. You can drop your head. It can reach up alongside your ear. Breathing here. And then bring your knees up. And drop the knees over to the other side, to the right. So left arm can reach out, can be overhead. You can drop your head to the left. And then bring the knees up. Keep the knees bent. Have your feet on the floor. Turn the toes a little towards each other. Drop the knees towards each other. Arms down by your side. Hands on your belly. Soften the gaze. Close the eyes. See if you can release the back of your head and your upper back into the floor as you exhale. See if you can find a little release in the face as you exhale. Finding a sense of maybe quietness, maybe stillness, maybe a moment of peace. You are welcome to stay right here. You can even slide your legs straight. Or you might join me in moving your fingers, rolling your wrists. Bring the knees towards your chest. Roll to your right side. Use the top hand. Press yourself up. And then come to your seat. You could sit on your shins. You could just come, sit on a blanket and cross your shins. Bring your hands to your thighs. Eyes closed or soften the gaze. And feeling the effects of the yoga bite on your body, on your breath, on your mind. Leave your hands where they are. You could bring your palms together. Sometimes we set an intention for what's left of your day off your mat. And then inhale, let your chest lift. Keep that sense of lift as you exhale. Tilt your chin towards your chest. And take a moment to thank yourself for your practice. I thank you for joining me in this yoga bite. See you next time. Thank you so much.